Hello, world. Welcome, or welcome back. I'm Goddess Dawn. It's Wednesday, July 8th, 2020, and I'm here and I'm live. And we're talking R. Kelly. We got an update today, so I just want to kind of quickly read through all of that, and then I'm going to hop off of here. So this is more so for a replay effect. So hopefully you're here with me today. I was good to see you. I'm going to greet the ones that I do see. Let's see. Of course, my guy, Wow Wayne. Hello. Nikki Six, it's been a minute. Hey, baby. My Nikki baby. Miss you too. El Good Enough. What's up? Good to see you. As always, Mary Blue, my sis, welcome back. And of course, my warrior sister Priscilla's here. She's covering me while I'm just going to run through this information. My girl CJ. Hi, baby girl. How are you today? Hi, Linda. How are you? All right. So let's get into it. I woke up to this article about R. Kelly. The prosecutors in the New York case they have filed a motion basically to protect the jurors, an attempt to protect the jurors. They want to make sure they stay anonymous throughout the trial, which is interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and read through the article from the Chicago Sun-Times. And I'm going to throw my 2 cents in here and there. I guess I should make sure you guys can hear me first, though. Hold on. Okay. I think I'm frozen. I'm gonna give this thing a couple seconds because I can't click anything right now for some reason. Okay. There we go. Okay. Okay, thank you guys for letting me know you can hear me. Hopefully you can see the screen. So this article is from the Chicago Sun-Times. It's titled, Feds in New York Want Anonymous Jury When R. Kelly Goes to Trial There. There's a subtitle here. It says, it's a move that is typically reserved for mob, terrorism, or street gang cases. And then the article goes on to say, federal prosecutors in Brooklyn want to take the rare step of putting R&B singer R. Kelly on trial in front of an anonymous jury, arguing in part the evidence will likely lead jurors to believe Kelly is capable of inflicting violence. They also pointed in a court filing Wednesday to the anticipated media coverage of the trial, which is sure to be intense, as well as allegations Kelly obstructed justice in his 2008 child pornography trial in Cook County. Steve Greenberg, one of Kelly's defense attorneys, told the Chicago Sun-Times there are parts of the prosecutor's request he agrees with, including shielding jurors from the prejudicial outside influences of the Me Too movement. But he said other parts of the request are ridiculous. And we're not surprised by Steve Greenberg calling this ridiculous. He's been doing this from the start, including when it was just a rumor that the feds were on his ass. At that time, he also denied that this was happening. So, that just says how much stock we actually have in this man's word. With regard to what he said about the Me Too movement, he's calling them prejudicial outside influences. Now, the Me Too movement, in my opinion, as well as Time's Up, specifically in R. Kelly's case, have kind of done their job at this point, and now it's in the law's hands. Me Too movement, during the trial, I don't feel like there's any unjust influence or undue influence that's going to take place by the Me Too movement of all organizations. Let me go on and continue reading. He continues to say, to suggest that Kelly may harm a juror because there are allegations that he may have engaged in domestic violence is frankly insulting, Greenberg said. It's insulting and it's illogical. Now, for him to put the blame of the prosecutors for basically saying that because R. Kelly has had domestic violence charges in his past, he's dangerous to not the case. Well, is it domestic violence that we're concerned about? Although it is a great concern, of course, in any situation. However, his charges go way further and way deeper than domestic violence, right? So it's funny to me how he's discarding all of the other charges and reasons why the prosecutors are seeking this motion and deducing it down to domestic violence charges. That just shows you really where his head is out, and it's to me in the clouds. So I'm going to go on. Anonymous juries are typically reserved for mob, terrorism, or street gang cases. And we all know the New York case is a racketeering. It's a they call it the enterprise. I can't think of the term at this moment, but they're saying, you know, he's a RICO. It's a RICO case, and they're saying he's in charge of this enterprise. And these are the same charges that they apply to the mob. So wouldn't it make sense to continue the trend in this case to apply his behavior to mob behavior? It's been going so far so good for the prosecutors. All right, the case in Brooklyn, well, I forgot where I left off here. Let's see. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and reread this. Anonymous juries are typically reserved for mob, terrorism, or street gang cases. The 2016 trial in Chicago of the Hobo Street Gang, a case that involved the murder of a federal informant, played out before an anonymous jury. So did the Family Secrets mob trial in 2007. So right here, we're getting evidence with regard to this motion. This has been allowed in the past, and regardless of whether or not his team deems him favorable to the mob or likened to the mob or not, they already have him under RICO Act, which is a mob-like act, right? So it's made for the mob, and so right now he's wearing that jacket. Kelly, who as of this weekend will have spent a full year in government custody, and we're going to ring bells on that, 1 full year in custody, pre-trial custody, let's clarify. Let me go on. Faces federal indictments in Chicago and Brooklyn. The case in Brooklyn, where prosecutors are asking for an anonymous jury, involves charges of racketeering and illegal sexual activity. And let's add that this illegal sexual activity involves minors. Prosecutors there say Kelly led an enterprise made up of his managers, bodyguards, drivers, and other employees who help him recruit women and girls for sex. And we're going to throw males in there also, because word is that there are boys and men that have also suffered at the hands of Robert Sylvester Kelly. So they mention the enterprise here and name all of the people who they're saying this enterprise is made up of. We are anticipating even more charges. This trial that's coming up, well, this particular trial is in September, and we're already in July. This is going to be here before we know it. So we can see by this motion that the prosecution is still at work. They are leaving no stone unturned. You know, there are a lot of people who were close to him who we haven't heard from, who they're not in jail, nor have they been charged as of yet. So the only other for them, in my opinion, is to be witnesses for the prosecution. So, you know, cutting deals and all that stuff. So I'm gonna go on. The Chicago case alleges child pornography and obstruction of justice involving the 2008 trial. Kelly's attorneys have said they prefer to go to trial in Brooklyn first, where the case is set to go forward September 29th. His federal trial in Chicago is set for October 13th. It's unclear if those dates will hold given the coronavirus pandemic. Kelly has repeatedly to get out of jail amid the pandemic, and he has most recently taken his request to the Second U.S. District Court of Appeals. He has been held in Chicago's Metropolitan Correctional since his arrest in July 2019. Regarding this appeal that has been filed, we're waiting to hear the decision on that. As far as I know, I didn't read through the entire appeal motion or document. It's a couple hundred pages, but from what I've read and as far as even just articles about it, there's nothing new or surprising or any revelations in this appeal motion. So in my opinion, this appeal will not hold. It will not help him in the least with regard to an early release. The initial what was his name? Stephen, I can't think of the judge's name, but the initial motion that was set into place was a permanent motion, permanent. Okay, so they're definitely going to consider all of the previous judges' decisions on not giving him bail, all of the evidence, and everything that's in play right now. They're going to be considering all of this when they are looking at this appeal motion. We have to admit there is a lot of evidence. There's videos. There's hundreds of documents and digital footprints that are stamped and sealed and have been made to be viable for the trial. Okay, so the Brooklyn prosecutors say they want to keep the identities of all prospective jurors, including their names, addresses, and places of employment, hidden from Kelly and the attorneys during his trial there. They also want the jurors to eat lunch together and be accompanied in and out of the courthouse by the U.S. Marshal Service so that they do not mingle in the courthouse with the public or any potential trial spectator. So this should tell you that there ain't no trust there, not even for his team, his lawyers, who are supposed to be integral. They're supposed to hold up, the law when defending clients. But in this case, we don't trust them, and we definitely don't trust him. I myself, as someone, with the platform talking about this, I've been talking about this since the beginning of starting my channel. And I'm not with this guy. I've never wavered on my stance. I believe some of these victims. I have read through the indictments, the discovery outlines, and I'm convinced, all right, that this guy is hiding a lot of stuff. He's hurt a lot of people, and he needs to face his consequences, all right? He lived a good life outside of jail for, up until this point, up until a year ago. So now, his time begins to face his demons, face the things he's done. So, 2020, the year of alignment, whatever you've been doing is showing up, okay? It's showing up this year, period. And that goes for America. And this is why all of the things happening with us in general is happening, because America been dirty. America started off, violent and disgusting. So I'm gonna go on. Oh, and I want to say too that I'm not the only one who has had threats and has had things happen. Not only because of R. Kelly and his team, but his Peaceeee. A lot of you follow Growman. And he has had consequence to speaking, his opinion also against R. Kelly. So if R. Kelly's tentacles reach as far out as YouTube, then, imagine him being released on bail, or imagine these jurors, their identities being found out and them being harassed and coerced. So yet again, he's trying to duplicate the outcome of his initial trial, his 2008 trial. And it is because of, or the charges are, that he coerced and manipulated the people in that trial, the victims. And this is why he was acquitted. The jury believed that that was him in the video. The jury believed that the girl was a minor. They just didn't have her identity and didn't have her there to say it was her or anybody who, in her family. There were other witnesses, but, as one of the jurors said, they're black girls. Who believes them? Something, that was paraphrasing, but the bottom line is the jury was discriminating also against these victims. So, in addition to calling the argument insulting, Greenberg said to suggest that Mr. Kelly isn't allowed to know basic information about the jurors is absurd. We have to know who these people are, Greenberg said. Of course, he wants to know who they are so he can harass and coerce and intimidate and manipulate. And that's what they do. Let me give me 2 seconds. Let me get the screen right up here. So that's pretty much it with regard to this story. I just wanted to come on here and talk about the story really quick. And, of course, vent my disgust for this man, as I always try to do. But I want to say, too, that I'm probably going to go live, what's today, Wednesday? Today or tomorrow for sure. Some of you saw that I had posted about my son joining me, and he, me and him, it's just been hard to catch. He's supposed to be coming today. So regardless, I'm trying to, open this channel up a little bit more. And, there's a lot of things to talk about. So hopefully I can give enough notice and you guys can come back and join me. I'm going to come in the chat for just a minute before I sign off. Oh, what's up, Marcus? Thanks for joining. Major 1984. Good to see you also. Yeah, she's going to testify this time, and we're talking the land fairs, I'll say, the whole family. And this is the victim from the 2008 trial that was hidden away. So now she's out and she's talking. So yada yada. What's up, sis? And I owe you a call. I haven't forgotten. I'm just busy. And your time difference throws me off. But I haven't forgotten you. Hi, Beth Craven. You're welcome. All right, y'all. R&B Trina, you're welcome. I'm gonna sign off, but you guys have a blessed day. Catch me live later, or when I come live, I'm gonna try to post. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter. I'll have all that information in the description. Catch up with me there. Love y'all. Mwah. Till next time. Peace.